guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be doing a review of Luminess Air's airbrush products. It was sent to me for review, however, I want you guys to know that I don't review anything unless I really like it. I always tell the companies, you know, once I get a product and I try it out, what I really think. I'll ask them questions if I have any. And if I don't like it, I always let them know that, hey, I'm sorry, thanks for sending this to me, I can send it back to you if you want, but I'm not into this product and therefore I'm not going to review it. So all of my opinions are my own. I'm not saying anything because I'm trying to sell this to you. That does not matter to me at all. I'm not saying that you guys have to buy this, but I do like the product and I want to show you guys. Also, I have done a demo also, which I think might be helpful to all of you guys who are makeup artists and who wanted to see how I airbrush. Also, a lot of people from when I did my review on Dinair a long time ago, what was that, like 2 years ago? A lot of you guys wanted to see how I actually use airbrush products. That might be helpful to all of you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you guys the compressor that was sent to me along with the actual airbrush gun and the foundation, the bronzers, that kind of thing. So here is the compressor. It's a super cute pink compressor for all the really girly girls out there. You guys are going to love this. It has an on-off button right here. Then it has this little thing where you can place your airbrush gun when you're not using it, so that it doesn't get misplaced or get tangled up anywhere. And then it has this little outlet right here that you plug in your little plug point thing so that it can be plugged into the wall afterwards for the actual air to come out. So I have all of that stuff that I would plug in here, and then I have the actual airbrush, which is this. It's also a pink one to match, and it's got the nozzle, it's got the little cap where you put in all the makeup, and it's got the lever to move back and forth to control air pressure. So if any of you guys have used airbrush, like makeup before, airbrush machines before, this is all very normal, like all stuff that you guys would know how to use. Then it's got this little plastic, I guess, tube that attaches to the gun for where the air is going to go through, and that's also normal. Now what you would do is you would put in your makeup into the gun, pull the lever back to dispense it, and press this on button over here to make the air come out to push makeup out of here. So again, you keep it, you know, 6 inches away from your skin, you spray, very normal. Now, the only thing that I wasn't used to when I got this was the fact that it has an on-off button and not a little dial where you can adjust the speed at which you want the air pressure to come out, or the actual air pressure. So that was different for me, and I was concerned about that, thinking that I wouldn't be able to control as much and maybe wouldn't get as even of a coverage, but that wasn't true at all. I got a very even coverage because it all goes back to how good you are at controlling this lever. If you pull it all the way back, you're going to get very thick coverage. If you pull it back, you know, at an even amount and keep it there, you'll get an even, normal, good coverage. So of course it's something that you want to practice with before you go out there and start doing weddings or your own makeup, that kind of thing. And another thing that it came with was this little airbrush cleaner. It came empty, all you do is fill it with water, and I like this because none of my other makeup kits or other airbrush makeup kits have given me this before, where you can just carry water around with you, because you guys know if you're using airbrush makeup, there's a lot of cleaning involved. You have to clean it in between colors, you want to clean it after your last wash of the day just so you don't ruin the actual airbrush. And so I like this, is very handy for me to carry it around and put water in it. Then it also comes with a DVD, which is going to explain everything to you guys on how to use this, how to clean it, how to care for it. Then, before I show you the actual foundations that I got with this kit, let me show you a few extra things that were in this box for me. There is something called Boost It, which is an instant complexion enhancer, and that's basically going to work as something that you would put basically after washing your face, after your makeup, or before your makeup. It's gonna like restore a little bit of that radiance onto your skin again that a lot of older skins need because they're so dry and they kind of lack that moisture and, you know, almost a little bit of a shine effect, so I like that, which is nice. And then I got an airbrush moisturizer, and I've used all of these products and I've tested them and I love them. So the first person that I tested this product out on was my mom. She's got dry skin, and I made her wash her face, and then instead of using normal moisturizer, I moisturized her face with the airbrush moisturizer, which was great. Only difference was that when you put this in your airbrush to dispense onto your face, you know, you're gonna spread it around like you normally would, but I didn't use fingers after that to push it into your skin. I let it just soak in naturally, which did work. And then I have the airbrush eyeshadow kit. And in here, I have 2 eyeshadow colors. I have shade 41, which is like a bronzy brown that would be used in the crease. It's matte. And then I have a shimmery gold, which would be used all over the lid. Now for my own purposes, I don't use airbrush makeup on my eyes just because I have LASIK, and when you're doing it on yourself, I'm a little bit scared that it's going to get into my eye because I don't keep my eyes open when I'm doing makeup. A lot of people think that's weird because they keep their eyes open when they're doing it, but I don't do that. On my clients, I have used airbrush eyeshadow before and I like it. However, I feel like you can't get as much detail with it, so I usually don't do that. However, it's completely safe, it looks good, everything works out. I use these on my mom also, and it looked really, really good. It's definitely doable. It's just for my personal preference, I don't use it for eye makeup. Then I got the Airbrush Cosmetics starter kit right here. This in here, I have 4 airbrush foundations, and then I had another airbrush moisturizer, and I had an airbrush bronzer, and I have something called Airbrush Glow, which again is going to be something that kind of restores a little bit of radiance to your skin. And then I have my 4 colors. This is all a part of the medium color kit, so it has colors that are going to be good for medium to tan skin, not good for, you know, very dark skins or very light skin. However, what I found with this makeup that I absolutely loved was the fact that I felt like these colors were really forgiving. With other airbrush makeup brands, I found on myself, I didn't like it. On my brides and stuff, it looked great because airbrush can, you know, it withstands a lot. It doesn't transfer very well, like from your clothes, which is nice, and it stays much longer than regular makeup, than conventional makeup, and it's sweat proof and oil proof for the most part. So I like that, but I've never liked that on myself. I felt like it was too much, but with this, I actually like it. I'm wearing this right now, so on my skin, I've got all these airbrush products on, and I feel like it actually looks like real skin. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a mask at all, and it's soaked into my skin, which is nice. Most makeup ends up staying on top of my pores and doesn't soak in, so it kind of ends up looking a bit fake. But I didn't have that problem with this, so I liked that. Then, which I've never had the opportunity to really try on an airbrush bronzer before, so I was kind of wary about this, but I love this. I've put this on top of my cheekbones, a little bit over here, in the middle of my forehead, and down my temples. And it looks so dark in here, but it doesn't come off that way, so it looks very natural once you put it on, which I really liked. Also, another tip that I use, that when I put on airbrush foundation, I spray it on my lips also, so it'll kind of mute out my lips and let me put on whatever lipstick that I want over it and make it look like what it really does look like in the cap, or, you know, the cover of the lipstick. So Luminess has 3 types of foundations. They've got satin foundations, they've got matte foundations, and ultra foundations. Of course, as the name would say, you know, matte foundation is going to end up staying matte on your face. Satin will have a satin finish. And the ultra is what I have over here, and ultra is kind of a mixture of both. It's going to give you a balanced texture. It's not going to look matte, it's not going to look satin, it's in between, and it's supposed to restore radiance to your skin. And I loved it. I was kind of scared that it wouldn't be as helpful in terms of oil control for me, but it was, so I really liked that. And I love the bottles because there's a specific airbrush company that I used for a very long time, and their bottles also had these metal beads in there, but once the formula started to finish in this bottle, it became very hard to squeeze it out. You couldn't squeeze out any makeup without it spilling everywhere. And that's not obviously what you want, especially when you're in the middle of doing makeup for clients. You don't want to create a mess, you don't want to create a scene, that kind of thing. So I really like these. I love the finish of the foundation. It feels like skin. I can move my skin around and it feels good. I feel comfortable touching my skin and knowing that it's not going to transfer out anywhere. I think the colors are super easy to mix and blend, even if it's something that you're not confident with. I think you should give it a try because these airbrush foundations are easier to mix than conventional foundation any day. Overall, I'm really impressed. They have a bunch of different kits that you can buy. You can buy kits that come with blush and bronzer. You can buy just foundation with the compressor. You can buy just foundation separately without the compressor. But I believe this is the only compressor option that you have. You can't change the compressor or the gun, but you can kind of customize your kit based on the products that you want to come with your compressor. That's nice. And then the last thing that I got was a blush. Also, this is a soft rose blush. This was a little bit light for my skin color, so it looked a little bit too pale on me, and I didn't like that. But I'd never used Airbrush blush before, and I was worried about how it would look and if it would just look like two patches on the skin, but it didn't. It really lets your real skin from underneath breathe through, so therefore when you place this on top of your foundation, you know, you can still see the natural olives or pink tones from under your skin, which makes the blush look a lot more natural. Even though you're spraying it in one area, it doesn't look like just, you know, a little, like, it doesn't look like a little porcelain doll type look at all. So I'm very impressed with this at all times. I've had an amazing experience with this product, and I'm definitely going to use it a lot on my clients and on myself. I would really suggest keeping more than one actual airbrush gun in your kit, because if one gives out, you have something else. If a bride or a client is paying you to do airbrush, that's what you need to deliver. And I've had the experience of where I couldn't because my airbrush just gave out. So make sure you have multiples, make sure you clean it really well. Airbrush overall looks the most natural. It looks like skin, but it doesn't have as many chemicals. It's usually water-based. So it's definitely going to be thinner and therefore will let your real skin breathe through. But it is something that is definitely, it requires a lot more work to upkeep and to ensure that it's going to work the next time. So if you guys are okay with that and making sure that you are, you know, dealing with that upkeep or cleaning it after every use, that kind of thing, this is amazing for you. Also for general everyday use, this airbrush makes it very easy to use. It's only one button to press on and off and you're good to go. Having this bottle makes it easy to clean right there. You don't have to run to the restroom and grab a cup or, you know, a bottle of water to pour into your cap to clean it. All the stuff is provided here, which is nice. It's also a nice size compressor because it's travel friendly. It's not big and bulky and heavy. It's something that can be easily transported in and out of wherever you have to go. It'll fit in your makeup kit, I'm sure. And I think that's about it. I'm going to post all the information to where you can get this underneath in the bottom bar. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask.